Hello, today we're going to talk about why do English learners make grammar errors? Grammar errors are a natural part of language learning. The possible reasons can be because students are building their own language system. Others because they transfer their knowledge from their first language to the new one. And can be also because they are developing accuracy gradually through exposure and practice. So learning a new language is not something, it's not that easy, but it's not hard neither, okay? Everything has a process and we can do it. Okay, so let's explore some theories. We have the theory of the interlanguage. The interlanguage is the type of language which can be produced by learners who are in the process of acquiring and learning new language. For example, let's think. And a student say, I go to school yesterday. This sentence shows interlanguage when he is blending the English words with the native language structure. Okay, because we know if something happened yesterday is past time. So in English we use the verb go in past time. So the right way is I went to school yesterday. Okay, and this with time and feedback, they'll get closer to fluent English. I have some more examples here. For example, with modal verbs. The student can say she can sings because we know the verb in simple present in third person goes in the S form. But in this case, because we are using modal, this rule doesn't apply. So that's why we can make that mistake. So the right way to say is she can sing because the verb in this sentence is can, and because it's a modal, doesn't go with S. Let's see an example with infinitive. I want go. I want go the park. I want go the park. For example, in Spanish, that is the way they say it. Yo quiero ir. 3 words. Yo quiero ir. I want go. Okay, so they literally they use that structure and they put it in English. So in English, we know the grammatical rule is we need an infinitive with that sentence. I want to go. Okay, let's see one more with present continuous. Oh, she's studying now. She is studying now to indicate she is doing something. So in English, the grammatical rule is she is studying now. We need to add the ing to make that sentence present progressive to indicate she's doing something right now. Okay, let's go with the next. Overgeneralization. This happens when a person applies a regular language rule to an irregular word or an exception. It is common when children or second language learners learn rules like adding ed to the verb in past time, the regular verbs past time, or when we use the s in verbs to make the s form of the verbs to use in third person, right? Okay, let's see some examples. For example, in simple present, they used to add the letter S to the verb when we use a sentence with the subject pronoun I, you, we, they. For example, I walks to school. So they apply the letter S because with the third person, he, she, it, we do it, right? So they, instead to separate the two rules, they just generalize the rule. So they apply it to all the subject pronouns. So the right way is I walk to school. So then we have example with a modal verb. One common mistake with modal verb is using do in a question. Do you can help me? Because the rule says when we do a question sentence in simple present, we use the auxiliary do or does, right? But We have exception. When we use modals, we don't need the auxiliary to. We just use the modal as auxiliary. Can you help me? Okay. Well, let's go on. We have the first language interference. This is when students identify the structure or morpheme of their mother tongue into the second or foreign language. For example, using for plus infinitive to show purpose. A speaker may say, I came here for to see you. I came here for to indicate the purpose of the visit, right? I came here for to see you. Or I bought a book for read. Because we know, right? If we bought a book, it's because we want to read it. So we want to show purpose for the reason why I'm doing something. And you know, in this case, they are literally translating a native preposition structure. Okay, so we don't in English we don't use the preposition for to show purpose. We use to. I came here to see you. I bought a book to read. Okay, and an example with present continuous. Using simple present instead of present continuous. Speaker of language like Spanish or French may say, I look for my keys. Oh, yeah, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, I look for my keys instead of I am looking for my keys, indicating a present progressive that means they are doing something, an action. They are doing an action in that moment. Developmental errors. This is a natural mistake made by second language learners or children. It mimics the normal grammatical slip-ups young native speakers make while building their first language. These errors show the brain is actively testing and figuring out language rules. For example, the omission of grammatical markers, like the S in the S form of the verb used for third person simple present. He runs fast instead of he runs fast. Missing articles. I want dog. I want dog instead of I want a dog. Missing auxiliary verbs. Where are you going? Instead of where are you going? Remember that in English, we use several auxiliaries to indicate grammatical time tense that in other languages, like in Spanish, we don't. If we try to traduce a sentence, where are you going? Some words we don't have. For example, we do. Do you eat pizza? Did you eat pizza? Okay, so if we want to translate that, we can translate you eat pizza, but we cannot traduce do because in English it's just working as an auxiliary. And maybe in other language that really means something. Okay, so that's why it's very common they miss these auxiliary verbs because in other language we don't use it. Double marking or redundancy. For example, in the past tense, did you went there? Did you went there? Okay, because it's obvious, it's kind of logical or obvious. Like if I want to express something that happened in the past, I need to use past tense, right? The verb in past tense. But in English grammar, we have the rule that if we're going to talk in past time for question and negative, we use the auxiliary did instead the verb in past time. Only if the sentence is in affirmative past time, there is when we use the verb in past time. And we have the double comparatives, the most happiest. I remember in Spanish we have something similar. We say something like mucho mejor, mucho mejor. And I remember my teachers always tell me there is no mucho in mejor. Or is mucho or is mejor, but not both of them. Well, something similar happened here. Most happiest. Most is for the long adjectives to indicate is the, I don't know, the best, or we are comparing for a group. This is the best, the worst, the fastest, and happiest is the same, but for short adjectives. So we're applying twice the same rule to an adjective. Okay, now let's talk about which errors should teachers correct immediately. We know, like a teacher, if you hear some mistake, you want to correct it right away, but wait. Sometimes we need to see when we have to act really quickly, immediately, or when we need to wait a little bit to make the correction, okay? For example, errors that block communication. Okay, so the student or the student is talking about something, but he can continue because that word doesn't mean, or they get stuck in there. So we can correct, oh, you mean this? So he can continue the communication. Frequently repeated errors. When we are noticing the same mistake, for example, the word water, if you see the student is using water, is pronouncing, he or she is pronouncing the word water. So we can act there like water. Remember, be very carefully, because if you do it so aggressive, students can feel like uncomfortable and they are not want to. They will not want to continue. Okay, so in that case, we can like make the correction like water. You mean water? Okay, so remember, be easy. Target grammar from the current lesson. So remember, we have to focus in our target, and if we see something is blocking that the way to get to the target, so we can act and say, oh, and like if they are taking another way, we can like move them back to the right path. Errors likely to become habits. I want to tell you an example of this one. I once worked in Taco Bell, and so we work with lettuce, and we were joking with my coworkers. Everybody was Latin there, Hispanic people, and I say lettuce. Pass me the lettuce. Give me more lettuce. I need lettuce. So when a customer came and he wants to order, when I took the order, he offered lettuce. And I said, do you want some lettuce for your tacos? And the customer was like, excuse me? What do you mean with lettuce? And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I mean lettuce. I'm really sorry. I mean lettuce. So it's better. Sometimes we play games with the words, but it's better not to do it, or other way. We're going to stay with that with that word. So, and we're going to forget what is the right way to say things. Which errors can be delayed? Okay, yeah, there are some errors, like we can wait till the end, till the student finish something, to tell them, oh, look, I took some annotations, you can get better in this. For example, minor grammar mistakes. For example, if the student is making a reading, we can, I don't know, maybe we can underline the words that he misspelled and finish till and wait till he'll finish the reading and say, oh, look, these are the words you misspelled. So let's practice a little bit. Errors that do not affect the meaning. If the student is trying to make an explanation or explaining something, if doesn't affect the meaning of the exposition or the explanation, it's better to wait too. And developmental errors during fluency activities. If it's an activity, the same, it's better to wait, because if you stop in the middle of the activity to correct the situation, probably we can lose the mood of the activity. How can teachers provide effective corrective feedback? Okay, like I was saying before, we have to be very careful at the time we correct our students. And we have some possible strategies here. We have the recast, for example. The request is if the student says a wrong sentence, we can like repeat the sentence in the correct way. For example, I'm gonna try to do a role play, okay? This is the student and this is the teacher, okay? A student, teacher, student, teacher. You know, my cousin, she can sings and she sings very well. Oh, your cousin can sing. That's great. It's good she can sing. Oh, sorry. Okay, we can do two elitation. Elitation is instead say, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you, or sorry, I didn't get it. We can use the phrase, can you say it again? Okay, so that make the student feel like he is just the teacher, in this case, the teacher didn't hear very well. So that's why he's going to repeat it and not because the teacher didn't understand what he said. So, okay, I'm gonna do a role play, teacher, student, teacher, student. Okay. Um, oh, teacher, I bring apple pie to share today. Oh, that's good. Can you say that again, please? Oh, yeah, yeah. I bring some apple pie. I bring some apple pie to share. Oh, that's great. Good. Thank you. Excellent. Okay, now let's go with clarification request. The same is similar to elitation, but in this case, we're going to say in a polite way, um, and we can rephrase what he said to make sure we understood what he's saying. And this is a nice way. So he can feel like bad because he didn't say well. Okay. Uh, you know, I won go park yesterday. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm not sure I understood. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understand. So you mean like you went to the park yesterday? Yeah. I went to the park yesterday. Yes. Okay. We have the metalinguistic feedback. This is we can apply it with the whole group when maybe somebody is saying their opinion, or we ask them to make a sentence or something and they make the mistake. So instead going straight to that student and say, okay, so you need to fix or you need to rephrase that, we can talk in general. Okay, again, student, teacher, student, teacher. Okay. Carol, oh, sorry. We're going to start with a teacher this time. Okay. Hey, Carol, can you make a sentence using the modal word can, please? Oh, sure, I can do it. I can in the park run. Good job. Thank you, Carol. But remember, class, modal verbs are followed by the base form. Can you do that again, please, Carol? Oh, yeah, sure. So I can run in the park. I can run in the park. Good, excellent, good job. And the self-correction. We can give students time to notice and fix their own errors. So this can be applied in different ways, but I am gonna give you an idea how this can happen, but can be presented in different ways. Okay. Okay. So this role plays is a person who is going to therapy, but he cannot, he can't pronounce therapy. This person says therapy. So the teacher or the therapist try to make them notice he's saying the word, he's saying it wrong. Okay, so let's see. Saying this time is gonna be the therapist and patient. Okay. Oh, I like to come this therapy. Sure, the therapy it's good for you. Oh, yeah, yeah. The therapy it's good for me. I like it. Good job. Now you learn a new word. Okay? So this is an idea how this can happen. And let's continue. Which teaching strategy will you use? Community activity. Okay, these are some strategies we can use to correct some mistakes. But always remember, we have to be nice and we have to be very careful in the way we are going to apply this, so students don't feel intimidated or I don't know, or feel bad. The thinking like, oh, I can't do it. I say it wrong. Because when we are learning a new language, we sometimes feel embarrassed or ashamed to say it. So yeah, let's try to be very easy in that. So we have some community activities, guided grammar discovery, input enchantment, consciousness, peer correction, focus feedback, constructive analysis, and task-based learning. Okay, these are some strategies. And for conclusion, I have that English learners make grammar errors because their brains are actively figuring out a complex new system. Rather than a sign of failure, these mistakes are proof of a natural logical learning process. Okay, and we have some references here, and thank you. Thank you for attention, and see you next time.